Hello and welcome to ReggiesTake.com. I'm Reggie, and I've got the guys from True Believers. They've graciously agreed to come back on.
Hello.
Thank you. Hello.
So those checks cleared?
Yes.
Okay.
We're all good. It's all good.
How you guys been?
Good, good. Very busy this summer. A lot of stuff going on.
You guys get to the movies much?
Oh, yeah. Big time. I think it's the only thing I had time for. Gosh, how many podcasts did we do this year? Not very many.
We didn't do any this summer. The last one we did was, I think, for Captain America. Maybe
Really?
X-Men.
The last one I know you guys did was for the Captain America
Because
one.
you were
Yeah.
on that one. It seems like we might have done another one after that. I don't remember.
Maybe one, but yeah, it's been a while. It's been very busy this
How many
past
movies?
summer.
How many movies did you get to?
I think I got to all the big ones. Ninja Turtles,
I didn't see Ninja Turtles.
X-Men Days of Future Past,
Oh, that movie was so good.
Captain America, and Guardians of the Galaxy. So,
I think I saw Captain America, X-Men, Guardians of the Galaxy. That might be it.
more importantly, how many of those did you see sober?
I actually did have to see Guardians of the Galaxy a second time because the first time I enjoyed it, but when it was done, I realized I was so drunk that I didn't remember anything at all from it. I mean, I remembered there's like stuff happening, but I had no idea what the story was. So then I had to go back and see it again, and it's really good. It's really good. It's a story about a raccoon in a tree and their adventures together.
It's a love story.
It's a lot.
Kind of.
They're erotic adventures.
I've only gotten to. I saw Captain America. I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's all I've been to.
You didn't see X-Men?
I have not seen X-Men, but it's on my list of the Blu-rays coming out
It's
soon to watch.
really good.
Yeah, I liked that more than
I
Guardians.
have seen.
I did too.
I did
yeah.
recently watch Amazing Spider-Man 2. Not.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Movie.
I mean,
Was that this summer?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I did see that too.
I found the movie interesting.
It's kind of a mess.
It's not unwatchable. I won't say it was the best,
no,
best Spider-Man ever
actually,
made.
I'm
going
gonna
to
say
not
it's
unwatchable.
better than the last one, the first Amazing Spider-Man.
I felt like I was tricked into go seeing a love movie, a romantic movie.
The only thing I can say about
And that's actually the best part of the movie.
Oh,
though.
well,
God.
see, and my only complaint, and really, is the whole Rhino thing. They tease it, but it's like he's at the beginning of the movie, he's at the end of the movie, and really, you could have lost either one or both, and the movie would have been fine.
Yeah.
You know what else you could have cut from that movie is the whole parent storyline.
I would say
Like the
Gwen
parents
Stacy.
is what? Shut up! She's the best part of that movie. No, the parents. That whole nobody cares about Peter's parents. All right, like not only that, it's like one thing that I found interesting was or stupid
Here we go.
actually. Was he's so busy feeling bad about his parents. He's so busy feeling bad about Captain George Stacy. He barely says anything about Uncle Ben. And Uncle Ben is always like the crux of Spider-Man. He's the reason why he becomes Spider-Man. And like he's like, whatever, Uncle Ben.
Meh.
And he treats Aunt May like crap. And there's a part where Aunt May says something like, you're moping around about your parents, but me and Uncle Ben were your we're the ones that raised you and loved you. At that point, it's like maybe he could have learned, okay, yeah. And they could have dropped the whole parents thing, let you assume that they were criminals and not worry about it because it's not an interesting story at all.
I think it's just showing how bad of a person Peter Parker actually is.
He's a pretty bad guy. But I don't know. And then there's, with the last movie, it's like switch out Mary Jane and Green Goblin for Gwen Stacy and Lizard, and it's the same movie pretty much.
Yeah.
This movie, switch out Mary Jane and Dr. Octopus for Green Goblin, for Gwen Stacy and Electro, and it's the same storyline pretty much. I mean, you've got Harry, like he's mad about something, and
Mad about you
He's
started.
mad
this,
about you.
Reggie. You started this.
I don't know. I don't think it's an awful movie, but I think they should just quit. Like it's just
Well, they're not going to even do the third one now till 2018.
yeah.
and
by then Andrew Garfield's going to be like 40, I think.
Well,
I think because he's like our age.
well,
He's like
yeah.
30.
they're going to do what Sinister Six and Venom movie before they even put out the third one, which I find a little odd. Oh well, it's their.
Sony sucks, man. Like they're just
Except for when it comes to X-Men.
I think Sony's
that
just.
was Fox.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Idiot.
Stupid.
I think Sony's just hoping, they just don't want to make sure Marvel doesn't get it back because that's the reason why they
Yeah.
keep doing all this stuff.
I know, and it's garbage. Fox, they've been, there have been some bad X-Men movies, but they got their stuff together.
Don't spoil that one for me yet.
I'm not, but
I
like
wanna
the
see
last
that one.
couple
at the
X-Men
end.
have been pretty good. They've still got Hugh Jackman and all them, so like they can keep it going. But Fantastic Four, they should have just sold that to Marvel.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
No.
Who knows?
Yeah, but wouldn't it be great to have Fantastic Four and the Avengers fight Galactus?
No.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
No.
What about a Kree Skrull
Nope.
war? We can't have a Kree Skrull war. The Kree are in Marvel, but the Skrulls are in Fox. But then we can have two Quicksilvers, because why the hell not?
Yeah. That's weird.
That is really weird.
I don't get that.
But I will
Whatevs.
say, as much as I'm excited about the new Avengers, I don't think this Quicksilver is going to be as good as the X-Men one.
I don't know.
'Cause
This one looks more
that-
physical.
Okay.
He looks stronger than the other. The other one looked like
I-
kind of a pencil neck geek.
I'm
This one
just,
looks like
but
he's,
that's what made him so cool. Like, he was really cool in that movie.
Your idea of cool is warped.
Your idea of cool is who's ever in the best shape.
Yes.
God.
Thank you. I want my.
Do you want your protein?
superhero.
Do you need your protein shake now?
I do. I could go for one. Reggie, are they making those here?
You guys
I
talk,
don't know what it is, but it gets me jacked. I don't know what's in it. I have no idea what these mean, but it gets me pumped.
A lot of science.
Well, see,
words.
my first question wants to be where are you getting your protein shake from
Oh.
before going further. But I don't want to go
He
there.
gets them from my store.
We're obviously all movie buffs. We're all pretty much into the movies. That's why we do this.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know what James is giggling about.
I got a protein shake right here for you.
Oh God.
what you guys do on your own podcast is your business.
We've only gotten into one fist fight.
Anyway, you guys have seen my my movie franchise countdown I've been doing.
Yes.
Although I haven't been posting as often as probably I should have on my website. You guys have seen that, and I don't know what you guys have thought about it, but thought we'd discuss a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you guys are aware that meant 3 days trying to go through a list of all the different movies. It had at least 3 movies, consider them franchises, and I even split up some of the franchises differently with Star Trek from original series, Next Generation, the Bond movies with Daniel Craig and Pierce Brosnan and all that. Anyway, so I had them all voted, got it all back, tallied it all up. We'll start with the 5 franchises that fell just outside the top 20, and then I'm going to read through them here, and you guys let me know if you guys feel one or both or more should be in the top 20 or if they're exactly what they deserve. So I have the 5 franchises that fell just outside the top 20 was Born Identity at 25, the Daniel Craig James Bonds at 24, the Rocky franchise at 23, Mission Impossible at 22, and Lethal Weapon at 21.
Those were my top 5.
Let's start with the first one, the Bourne Identity. Great movies, they really are. But I don't know if I would have put them in my list of the franchise either, just because.
I'm going to pull a James here, and I feel bad, and I'm pretty sure they ranked very low, but I didn't see any of those. So-
Well, I mean,
The first 3 with Matt Damon are probably the best.
then they get Hawkeye for the fourth one.
The fourth one, it's okay, but to me, it's they're trying to make Jeremy Renner into something that his
He's
character is
not.
really not in a certain sense. And I mean, it's a watchable movie. It's enjoyable for if you just want 2 hours of action. But
Yeah.
Aren't they
I-
bringing Matt Damon back?
the studio wants him back along
See-
with Paul Greengrass to direct it, but I don't know if they'll ever get those guys to come back again.
I know that studios always want to make money, but the fact is, like, the Bourne Identity as a story wrapped itself up.
in the
There's
third one.
there's no room. You can try to say, wait, there's another, and bring in Jeremy Renner, but it's like, no, the story wrapped itself up.
Maybe they should try Woman.
I don't like to see women in action movies unless they're damsels in distress. No, I'm kidding. That would be.
I'm just saying, because there's a lot of talk of, like, I think what started it all was having an all-female Ghostbusters.
That sounds kind of cool.
I would watch that,
Yeah.
I think.
Who would be in it though? Who are they talking
Who
about?
wouldn't be in it? Sorry. Well, we're off topic. We could go with this later.
All right.
Okay, Melissa McCarthy, Angelina Jolie, I think would be like kind of the wild
Is that
card.
who they're saying?
No, I'm just saying.
you're
That's who I would want to see. Andrew Garfield. I don't know. How many Ghostbusters are there? Who cares? But I'm just saying I think an all-female cast would. That's what maybe the Bourne Identity, the next one could benefit from, is having a female lead.
That would be definitely a different twist on it. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, in theory, yes, but the problem is, like, the story did wrap itself up. Like, it's done. There's no room for anything else.
I think the best thing for that franchise is just let it lay.
Exactly. I think so too.
I mean, in 20 years, they're going to come back and try and remake it all anyway.
20 years?
Okay,
Probably
10
years.
10 years, but...
My God, they remake a new Batman and Spider-Man every time the cows come home. I mean,
What was the next one?
Daniel Craig's James Bond,
okay,
Rocky,
let's
Mission
do
Impossible.
that one. Daniel Craig's James Bond. I'm a little surprised it didn't make it, but at the same time, I'm not. Skyfall might be one of the best James Bond movies since, honestly, Goldfinger.
Yeah.
If I were to be conservative, I would say it's the best one since The Spy Who Loved Me, but I'm being very conservative. I think it's actually better than that one. Really just a good movie. Like the whole fight scene at dusk at his house, like,
Yeah.
it's pretty intense.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's just the story's good. And that's the thing, like, let's be honest, like, I've seen all the Bond movies. I love them. Yeah. But that's the thing about James Bond is they've never really had very good stories. Like even if you go back to Dr. No, like, you know, like at first it's like, oh yeah, he's investigating this murder mystery. And then all of a sudden it's like he's in this weird laboratory with this like plot to like nuke all these people, and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, but
is
I
going
think
on?
that's been pretty much what's made James Bond successful.
No,
you've always had that
agree.
you've always had that quirkiness about it.
But I'm saying like the storylines have never been very strong. That's never been the point. Like at the beginning, there's some exposition. They're like, here's what the story's going to be about, James. And then he does some like crazy crap. All of a sudden, the villain at the end will explain his plan, which never makes sense. This one actually had a really good story, but I am going to say, like, I can also see why it didn't make the list because there's only 3 movies. Casino Royale was also really good, but Quantum of Solace is terrible. Terrible.
It could have been much better.
Quantum of Solace is actually in my bottom 5 Bond movies.
Wow.
Like, it's down there with Die Another Day and Diamonds Are Forever and Octopussy. Like, it's down there with... Those are bad movies.
Octopussy.
Octopussy's terrible. Like, that is a bad movie.
So is there a movie on that particular 5 set of franchises you guys would surprise?
I would have put Rocky on my list.
Yeah,
honestly.
definitely.
Like,
I think mine was probably
like,
maybe
Rocky
top
5
10.
sucks, but I mean, like...
Rocky 5 didn't suck.
What? With Tommy Morrison.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one after.
No, that one's 6. 6 comes
Balboa,
after.
you mean?
Rocky Balboa. I found that kind of more of almost a throwback to the first 2.
Yeah.
And it was really kind of not a lot goes on with it, but it was kind of a nice story.
It was good.
It was a nice way to
There
end.
were things that I didn't like about it, but it was...
It was a better way to end Rocky than what Rocky 5 was.
Oh, yeah.
But the biggest thing I wanted to see was instead of having it either, I think they gave it to the other guy as a win, didn't they?
Yeah.
See,
but he didn't care though. He had
didn't
more
care.
fighting.
I would have liked to seen the movie end more as a.
Wasn't it? I thought it was a draw.
They filmed 2 endings to it. One was that one guy won, and the other one was a draw. But I think they put it as the one guy won on the theatrical
on
version.
Decision. He won on decision.
Yeah,
he like didn't knock him out or anything.
And saying
Just,
Rocky stayed. Yeah. You know, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Well, Rocky, they made the right choice because Rocky shouldn't have won.
Right?
No,
like that other guy was young and in shape, and
yeah.
Rocky's like some old has-been. One thing that I didn't care too much. It wasn't that I didn't like it, but I thought it was odd. Was like with the Rocky movies, you know, it's always, at least when they're good, it's never really about the fight. It's always like that's just.
It's about the human level of it all.
Yeah, it's about what's going on in his life, the love, the romance. This one didn't have Adrian because she died, but I find it odd that she died off screen in between movies, but then they still showed Gino and Apollo die on those old movies. and so it's like, wouldn't like showing him deal with, but I don't know. Then again, like
I think they did it that way because the actress didn't want to come back.
No, she did want to come back.
I thought I read where she didn't want to come back, and
she did want to come back, but originally they were going to have her in, but then like she kind of read the script and she thought it was better that way or something, where she's not in it.
And the story was fine without her. I mean,
yeah,
it would have been nice to see her.
You don't show her die, but I guess then again, like I guess they did avoid the girl in the refrigerator thing, so like whatever.
No, I think it's good because I think it would have slowed the pace of the movie down.
It was tight
because without her in it.
Yeah.
Because most of the movie would have dealt with him being sad.
No,
but now it's been a few years since she
yeah,
passed,
and
he's got one more fight.
I guess
in him.
that's a good point. Like he's I mean,
he's trying
you
to move
still
on
have
with
to
his
show
life.
him fighting, and he's
Yeah.
not going to fight right after she dies.
Right,
Like
right.
that's not going to
He
happen.
wouldn't have
Like
been
he's
able to
going to
do
need
that,
some
yeah.
years
So that makes
to
sense to
grieve.
me.
Yeah, that does.
But
make
I would have
sense.
put him up. I think I would have put that up
Oh,
higher
that would
on
have
the list.
definitely been in my list.
No.
Which, since we're talking about it, where would you rank Rocky 6 out of that series?
I say you'd have to rank Rocky 6 would definitely have to be in the top 4 of the Rocky movies.
Well, yeah.
I think the first one, the
first
first two are
the
are
top
fine,
two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
I'd
think
rank
it's a
it
toss-up
after
between
3, actually.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
as goofy as 3 is, it still like felt like it belonged. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like it was still really good. It's goofy.
Rocky
But
4
like
is
for
okay.
its time was still really good.
Rocky
Yeah.
4 is okay, but it seems
Rocky 4 is pushing it.
pushing it.
Like,
It's pushing it on the reality basis for Rocky.
the robot.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Polly. That's like the weirdest.
and
Happy birthday, Polly.
and I just happened to rewatch Rocky 4 recently. I saw it on TV.
It's not good.
Or no, I watched it on Netflix. I think it was Netflix or something like that. And of course, it's got that quintessential '80s moment where he's
Yeah.
driving and they're playing the music, and they
yeah.
got all this flashback from all the different movies. And it's like,
this
oh
is
my god, this is '80s so bad. It's like,
It's pretty corny.
I mean, you could cut that part out, and the movie would be better.
You could
for
cut
it.
the whole fucking freaking movie out. I mean, it's not a very good movie. Like,
Yeah.
and at the beginning, Paul's like throws a beer bottle at the Rocky pinball machine. It's like, oh, shut up.
I never
Like, I
understood
still
Polly's
kind of like that
character,
movie,
yeah.
but like they could totally just write that one.
It's like,
out
why didn't Rocky
completely.
just punch him and kill him?
I would definitely
so
say
much heartache.
I would definitely say Rocky 5's at the bottom of the
Oh,
list.
by
yeah.
far. Like
And
that movie.
Yeah.
As bad as 4 is, I can still enjoy it
Yeah.
on some level. 5 is unwatchable.
No.
like
And
that
two
is
reasons
garbage.
for me: his son and Tommy Morrison. God rest his soul.
You know, he didn't have AIDS.
That's not what I heard.
Well, according to Tommy Morrison, AIDS doesn't exist, so he
Oh,
just
yeah.
died for no reason. You know, he was in the Wichita jail.
Oh yeah,
A couple
I've
years
met
ago.
him a few times.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When at the gym I worked out at, he would come train there.
Oh yeah.
Scary guy.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Because one day look like he's in phenomenal shape, and the next time he'd be like, ugh,
Yeah.
it's Tommy.
Well, that's what.
And then he had,
That's what AIDS does to you.
yeah, and then he had tattooed eyeliner.
Oh God, that's weird.
Weird. Yeah.
Nice.
Spooky.
Jeez.
So-
spooky.
So, you guys feel that Mission Impossible and the Lethal Weapon franchises?
I think
I really like Lethal Weapon,
I do.
but like,
I think Lethal Weapon could have made top
that could have
20.
made the list.
could have made maybe top 20 to 15 to 20, but that'd have been
Yeah.
about as high as it really should
Mission
have gone.
Impossible.
'Cause
I
they
think
kinda
is fine
get-
where it's at.
I don't like the Mission Impossible movies.
That's
that
why I said I
much.
think it's
Yeah.
fine without of the top 20.
Like the first one's okay, but each one just
I think Tom Cruise just bugs me.
yeah.
I think Tom
kinda.
Cruise bugs a lot of people.
Yeah, he's just.
I think he thinks too much of himself.
Oh yeah,
That's
he's
what
too
comes
cool for
across.
school. Like I saw Jack Reacher, and even one of the Mission Impossible movies. It's like when he's on the hills with some girl, and they're driving, and he's driving backwards, and they're like flirting. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, this is stupid.
Those aren't very good movies.
no
Also, like
red light.
the old show, didn't it really kind of bum people out who liked the old show because they really messed up some of the characters? Like
Yeah.
they made the one
I
guy
never
a
really
traitor.
watched.
I never did.
I never
either.
really watched the.
I just read the
show.
Wikipedia page.
But I think Mission Impossible is where it belongs.
Yeah,
Lethal Weapon I
and the
think
garbage.
but Lethal Weapon I think could have been up a little bit higher.
It could have, but I could
think
also
what
see
killed
it
it
there,
was
too.
maybe I don't
The
know.
fourth
Maybe
one
The
with
fourth
the
one was
Yakuzas.
the fourth one was okay, but I think everyone would have been fine if you hadn't have done the fourth one. I mean, because the fourth one, I mean, they added Chris Rock,
Yeah,
unnecessary. I mean,
He's okay at stand up. I don't like his act.
I mean, it was nice to see that they gave an actual proper goodbye movie to it. Kind of, it said, "Yeah, this is it. We're done. We're at the end of 3." They didn't really say goodbye, so to speak.
which is the one where he's fighting on like they're moving a house and he's fighting in the
Fourth.
That's the fourth one. Okay.
yeah.
The one with Jet Li,
Been a
right?
while.
Yes.
Okay.
Now moving on to the top 20, so we don't not here for 2 hours because our any listeners would be snoozing by then.
Number 20 is Star
The
Trek.
the next generation cast.
Are you talking about the
Movies.
show and the movies,
No,
or just the movies?
Just the movies
Okay.
themselves.
Movies.
Just
Here's
the,
Here's a
It
story
says
about
movies on here.
story about me and Reggie and Star Trek: The Next Generation. I used to work with Reggie. I was kind of new to the Star Trek thing, and I thought that Next Generation was kind of boring. And you're like, no, And you gave me like the DVDs with the Borg.
I think I
You
gave you
also
the.
gave me the movie.
I think I gave you the movie first.
Which one is that? What is the
First
name of that movie?
Contact.
First Contact.
Which is
okay.
actually their second movie.
I saw it. I thought it was okay. Thought the TV show with the Borg was actually better. I saw the movie. I thought it was okay. I thought it was a decent movie. I saw the other movies. Didn't really care for any of them.
Now, First Contact for Next Generation is kind of considered Next Generation's Con.
Yeah,
Con
that's
movie.
kind of what I
It's
figured.
considered their best of
Yeah.
the 4 movies they did.
I'm gonna say like the overall, and I'm counting the original movies too. Like as far as movies go, they have a few good ones. For the most part, most of the movies aren't very good. And that sorry,
No, you're fine. No, you're fine.
like I mean, the first Star
They're
Trek
just
is
turning red.
terrible.
Right.
Second one, of course, is great. The third one, I don't think is as bad as everyone says. People don't like that one. I thought it was okay.
The third one's not as bad, but what was the generation that did 4? Everyone kind of bashes on Nemesis. They say it tried to be potentially too much this or that. And my personal feelings is with Nemesis was it came out on a Friday.
Yeah,
Okay. The following Wednesday
was
Lord of the Rings 2 Towers coming out.
Yeah.
My father-in-law went with me to go see Star Trek Nemesis, and we're in line buying tickets. Well, there's a whole nother line. They had like 3 or 4 lines at these theaters. Everyone that I saw in the other line buying tickets were not buying tickets for that movie, for any movie for that weekend. Everyone's like 2 for 2 Lord of the Rings or whatever. Everyone else was buying tickets for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So I think part of the problem with Nemesis was timing on Paramount's part releasing it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to have hardcore trekkers out there who are just got way too much time on their hands saying, no, it was story that killed it. But you got a movie that is so popular like Lord of the Rings, and you're releasing it 5 days before that movie comes out, it's going to get overshadowed.
And the Star Trek movies to begin with are pretty niche market. Like,
Right.
Not so much anymore, but they were
Right.
then.
At that time, yes.
So,
And Nemesis would have, I think, benefited either by giving it like an early November release or waiting till like February or March and then releasing it later.
Now
But-
that's the one with Bane. What is his name? Isn't it
Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy.
Tom
Yeah,
Hardy,
that was Nemesis.
Yeah.
And Nemesis story wise, yeah, it's got its flaws, but what Star Trek movie doesn't have its flaws?
Oh,
Its
yeah,
storyline.
no kidding.
But it's it's
space.
I can see why it gets a little bit of backlash for its story because you're trying to get the guy Tom Hardy's character too much like kind of a con character type of thing. You got the whole Data storyline going on, which you just had a lot of things going on,
Yeah.
and I think they tried to put too much.
Well, the show was over too, right?
Right, the show
so
had
they're
been
trying
over.
to like.
The show had been over. They finally married off Riker and Counselor Troy and all that stuff, but I just think the biggest thing that hurt it was its release date. That was the
I
biggest
would
problem.
totally agree. Like as Star Trek movies go, the worst one is Star Trek 5.
Oh, by far, but that's a whole nother. That's what the other.
That's
That's
a whole
that's
We
other
could
what,
make an entire
podcast.
podcast about that.
that's a whole nother, and and
I love
who knows
that
that could show up later on in the countdown. So
I also
love
want
that
to point down people like Trekkies have voted the newest one the worst in the franchise. That is unfair.
See, I could go off for an hour and talk about the new ones because I have actually had some prolonged Facebook arguments with other Trekkers on the Star Trek Facebook page, arguing whatever. Now, I've gotten some people who've supported my views and others who just think I'm just an idiot. But then again, I think some of the other people's views are idiots as well. But my whole thing about the new Star Treks is if it's so damn bad, then why are these last 2 movies that Abrams done have made $300 to $500 million worldwide, and they're considered now 2 of the highest-grossing Star Trek movies ever made. I mean,
well, and saying that's the worst movie in the franchise when you've got Star Trek 5 is just absolutely ridiculous.
now
Or Star Trek 1 for that matter.
now my problem with the last Star Trek movie is, did they actually need to go with Khan as a villain? No.
No.
I think they should have avoided Khan completely. But that's beside the
or
point.
even if they put him in, the ending should have been different. The ending was
And see,
weird.
and everyone says, "Oh, you just ruined Wrath of Khan."
No,
I didn't.
Wrath of Khan.
I
You can
didn't
still
see-
watch it.
I
It's still on your DVD.
I didn't see Into Darkness as a
not
Wrath of Khan. As a Wrath of Khan ripoff, I saw it more of the
It's an
original
homage, yeah.
original episode of Space Seed
Yeah.
turned on its ear.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of how I view that movie.
People just crack me up because it's like, yeah, this might be a different timeline in the movies, but it hasn't actually erased your DVDs in time. You can still watch them.
That's what I've argued for so long.
If you don't
now.
even like,
Mine's
if you don't
blank.
like the new
blank.
ones, you don't have
to go
watch
watch
them.
Yeah.
Well, mine's blank.
Is it? Well, I was really hoping that after Days of Future Past with the time travel, that X-Men 3, that X-Men 3 would have been deleted, but it's still on there. So.
And you make a nice segue because number 19 is the X-Men franchise.
I know, that was on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, should X-Men been top 10 or because of what it is? It's fine where it's at.
I don't think top 10 compared to the other movies that I've seen on your list. I think it's a decent franchise, but I think the first one's okay, and the first two are like, hey.
No,
and
the first two are really good.
I'm sorry, the second two.
It takes a massive dip with 3 and 4.
But
and
then it goes back up
gets
with
better.
First Class.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of where it belongs as
Like
far as franchises go.
Yeah, because I mean that dip, like X-Men 3 really, like 4 was a worse movie, but X-Men 3 really screwed it up.
Yeah.
They have spent 5, 6, 7. They've spent 3 movies now, like bending over backwards trying to fix what X-Men 3's done, and it's still like finally they had to be like time travel. Like they're because
where all sci-fi movies have to go at some point.
Yeah, because I mean,
it's written in law.
X-Men 3 really ruined, and so did 4 by like having characters that didn't belong.
Now you probably should clarify that X-Men 4 is really you're talking about the first standalone Wolverine
X-Men
movie.
Origins Wolverine.
Yeah,
horrible movie. I saw that movie with a group of friends, and one of my friends might be a little retarded. He was drunk also, and like I'm watching that movie, and I'm thinking this sucks. And then at the end of the movie, everyone in the theater thought it sucked, except him. He starts like applauding it, and I was like, I yell at him, and I was like, "Shut up! Don't applaud that!" Like. What is wrong with you?
Applauded at a movie.
Well, especially a movie that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that movie is an F movie.
F for movies.
Whew, it's a bad movie. But yeah, like
I think it's where it belongs, though.
Okay.
yeah, it has too many continuity problems.
Well, the next one on the list, I'm sure James has got plenty to talk about
Here
because
we
it's
go.
the Roger Moore edition of the James
God.
Bond movies at number 18.
That's where I'd put it, honestly.
I would thought you'd put it down further. I
no,
would almost
no,
switch
the
out
Spy-
the Daniel Craig with I don't know. Would you-
I don't
I
know
mean,
either.
would you
Because-
switch the
I might switch them because I think the Daniel Craig ones are to me are more entertaining than the Roger Moore ones. Because how many did Roger Moore do?
7?
So, oh dear.
But Roger Moore, like, they're not as bad as people say. Well, some of them are.
I'm going to make you watch a couple.
Okay, I own them, but I'll just stick them in.
God.
But I don't own all of them. The Spy Who Loved Me is a really good movie. First off, but let's go in order of the Roger Moore movies. Let's start with
Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die, which first off, great song, probably the second best Bond song after Goldfinger.
This is after the Octopussy theme.
By the way, I love. Have you ever seen Ted?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny that that's their song is the octopus? But anyway, okay, Live and Let Die is pretty weird because it's like a blaxploitation film.
Yeah.
But the first time I saw it, I thought it was terrible. But then the second time I watched it, I thought, it's stupid. It's really stupid. It's also pretty funny, and there's like some good act, and it's got Jane Seymour who is so hot in that movie.
See, I think the
Like
Roger,
she is so.
to me, the Roger Moore movies were just him trying to get laid.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
Because then the next one you have is
it's
The
a
Man with the Golden
Golden
Gun, which, holy cow, that is the most coked out movie I've ever seen. I mean, I know it was made right in the 70s. Everybody from the director,
Christopher
writer,
Lee.
producers, actors,
Well, I saw-
crewmen are all coked out of their mind
there's-
in that
there's-
movie. It's so
I
weird.
saw a thing where they're talking about, and I've seen it on the BBC, where they're talking about the history of Bond and talking to the current producers and stuff like that. And they said at that time they tried with the Man with Golden Gun with that one scene where he hits or whatever. They're trying to make him into kind of Sean Connery when it just didn't.
Yeah,
fit.
and it didn't work.
When it didn't really
Yeah.
fit. And after that, they just kind of left it alone
Yeah.
and they just kind of let Roger Moore be Roger Moore. But
Christopher Lee as
Scaramanga.
Scaramanga is a really good villain, by the way. even though he has 3 nipples, which is just weird. I like that movie, but you have to be. It's not good. You have to be in the mood for something that weird. Like, and it's not even that the story's weird. It's just like all of a sudden he's like fighting, and then he falls through a floor, and he's fighting a Chinese monk for some reason. And there's the guy, the little midget from
Fantasy Island.
little
sorry,
person.
the little person from
Fantasy
Fantasy Island is
Tattoo.
on there.
He has a name. His name is Tattoo.
Hervé Villachez or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Like it's a really strange movie, and the song by Lulu where he has a powerful weapon, he fires 1,000,000 shots. It's like, wow, what is wrong with you? So yeah, that movie.
You know,
and
then of all the Roger Moore movies, though, I think For Your Eyes Only.
For Your Eyes
It's a simple Bond movie. They don't get too over the top.
That is the lowest rated one.
But
on
it's
Rotten
actually,
Tomatoes.
but
it's
it's
actually
not
a good movie.
Is that the one, A View to Kill?
No.
Yeah, that is A View to a Kill. The one with the.
Because it's in the song, isn't
yeah.
it? For your eyes.
No. For Your Eyes Only
Is
is
one after in '81. It came after Moonraker, and they decided to go to simple after Moonraker was
Moonraker.
kind of so over the top for them.
yeah.
Because the only reason why they did
For Your Eyes Only is the one where they're in the ski lodge in the Swiss Alps.
Okay.
It's
Kind of boring,
actually
but it's a good
there's
movie.
small little trivia because during all those movies they don't do it now, or actually with the Pierce Brosnan ones they stopped doing it. Where at the end of the credits, you'd say James Bond returned.
Yeah,
they would always
got
give you
it. They
the
got
always
it
give
wrong.
you the
They
name.
said-
At the
they
end
said,
of The Spy You Love Me says James Bond will return in For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah.
Well, then
But then
because
the next
because
one
of
is
all the Star
Octopussy.
Wars and the Star Trek movie came out, they decided maybe they needed to
Oh,
go do something
Hold on,
different.
wait a minute.
They
No,
ended
that's-
up doing Moonraker, and at the end of Moonraker they ended up doing
no
For Your Eyes
that's-
Only.
We're getting mixed up here. That one.
You're getting
Okay, yeah. At
at the end of
I see what you're saying. At the end of The Spy Who Loved Me, they
it
said
said
the next one is For Your Eyes Only, but then they did Moonraker instead. Yeah.
They changed up, and then at the end of Moonraker you see it. So that's
Moonraker is awful, by the way.
Oh, and the cheesy one-liners, like at the end of the movie with Dr. Goodhead. Excuse me. Oh, take me around the world one more time, James. It's like, please.
And I'm going to say that's one of those things people dog it for Bond in Space. Bond in Space is not the worst part of that movie. They bring Jaws back.
That's
who
the
was
cool part of the
awesome
movie.
on the first movie,
Which
and then
that-
on this one he's like a
which-
bumbling
which-
oaf with his little girlfriend.
Which the actor, that gentleman, just recently passed
Yeah.
away.
Let's have a
So
moment of silence. And that's
yeah.
He was also in Happy Gilmore.
as his boss.
No, he was the
Yeah, he was his boss.
in Happy Gilmore he was
Yeah.
the guy who
He was his
went to the
boss that he
golf
shot in the
course.
head with
Was he his
a
boss?
nail gun. Yeah.
I guess I don't remember.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, yeah, let's see. Roger Moore movies, some of them are good. We didn't talk about Octopussy. That movie is terrible. That might be the worst one. It's either that or Diamonds Are Forever, but Octopussy is awful.
I'll
Awful
take your word
movie.
for it.
He dresses up as a clown and
Oh, okay.
at the circus and
Well, next on the list is at number 17. It came in as The Matrix.
I think
Yeah.
that's where it goes.
Yeah.
The first one
But
was
the
like
first
when it
one's the
first
best.
came
actually
out, yeah.
actually that's pretty generous. I'd put X-Men and James Bond and Star Trek over the
Yeah.
The Matrix is not a good
It
series.
just got too crazy,
It's
and it's confusing.
It's one good movie, 2 terrible sequels, and some video games and anime. Who cares? It's
I think it was it insists upon itself.
The first movie was so good that I don't think they knew what to do with the second and third ones to go with it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think they got their heads got too
well.
big.
Remember,
and
at
it just
the end of
got
the third
insane.
one, the big resolution was, it's been revealed that we live in a computer world. Some people want to live in the real world, and some people want that's terrible and scary, and some people want to live in the computer world where things feel better. What was the point of all this? Why'd you guys even bother? The computers were taking care of them.
Yeah.
Who cares? It was a lot better than that crappy world that Morpheus and them were living in.
And how odd would that feel having something go into your head like that?
Oh.
I mean, that's just
It was
It
the
just-
whole movie's
that just creeped
weird.
me out.
I don't get it. I still
That
don't
movie
get
did
it.
not need sequels. That's another one that wrapped itself
Yeah.
up. It had an idea, and then the more you think of the idea, it's okay, yeah, I get the metaphor behind it, but whatever.
I think sometimes we don't need movies to end. Like if the Matrix
Yeah.
would have just ended, just leave it.
Right.
Maybe wait 10 years to come up with a better script than the second one. But I think I agree with James. I think I would put X-Men before that.
I don't think it would have
And
made my
James
top
Bond.
20 at all, honestly.
Yeah.
Rocky would have been before it, too.
Oh yeah.
So you think of all the ones so far that are there, Matrix should have been thrown out?
I would have
Yeah.
thrown it out, yeah.
So let's throw that
wouldn't
out, and we'll move
wouldn't
Rocky
even
in its place.
considered it.
I would think you'd put Lethal Weapon. Yeah, I would put Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I
before
would
that,
too.
yeah.
The Matrix has one good movie.
I think you had too many women.
well, at number 16 is actually the first of a couple of actually animated franchises that have. I know it's at least one of two. I think there may be a third one, but I'm not sure right off the top of my head. I don't have the full list with me. I don't bring secrets.
It's in here. It's in your head.
Anyway, but Shrek came in at 16, which personally I like the Shrek movie, so I'm kind of glad it came in the top 20.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're animated, probably more aimed towards kids in a certain sense, but there's a lot of jokes in those 4 Shrek movies that, I mean, if you're an adult, I mean, you're laughing and the kids are going.
movies, isn't there? Counting the Puss in Boots.
Well, 5, yeah, if you want to count. Puss in Boots is considered in the Shrek world, but
I think this is one of the first films, like the first Shrek was kind of one of the first animated movies kind of going
towards the adults.
towards
really.
adults and kids, because they know adults have to
Take the kids.
take the kids. Why not let them have a good time as well too?
Yeah, I mean, there's some definitely and kind of fun if you watch the. My wife loves the Shrek 2 movie. She just of all the 4 movies, she likes that one the best. And if you watch the first 5 minutes when they're going through their honeymoon, I mean, they get so many references to different movies.
Oh yeah.
You know, aliens because you got something popping out of a chest. You got the Lord of the Rings reference.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
like 3 or 4 if you watch it really close. You can pick up reference in different
Oh,
movies, and it's
I
kind of
don't
fun.
know if I've seen that one all the way through.
Ah,
Like I've
it's-
seen parts of it.
My wife loves that movie because at the end, you know, Shrek's having to ride in on Donkey, which is now a horse. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She loves that whole thing of, you know, Princess Fiona's knight riding in to save her.
Oh,
and,
doesn't
you
he
know,
turn human in it?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
turns him.
I did see that.
You
I
know,
don't really
and
remember it, but
she
I did
just,
see it.
as you know, a female thing, you know, she just finds that so romantic. And anyway, but that's beside the point.
I know I didn't see the third Shrek.
And the
it
Shrek-
didn't look very good.
The fourth Shrek,
The fourth one was terrible.
Shrek Forever After, I don't know if I'd say it was terrible. It was definitely interesting, and I actually thought for sitting in the theater watching it the first time, not knowing what was going to happen, and you know he had to kiss Fiona within 24 hours in order to get things back.
Yeah.
You assumed that he didn't make it in time, even though he kissed her, was able to get her kissed. I actually thought they were going to end the series with him killing off Shrek, and which would have been surprising. Which I thought for about 2 seconds, I thought that's where they were going with it, but then they kind of
Then you're like, this is a movie for children. That's how I felt about Toy Story 3. Actually, when they're all in the
Getting ready to-
furnace.
Yeah.
I'm like, that movie. I was like, oh my god, they're not gonna make it. And then I was like, wait, this is a movie for kids. They're gonna make it.
what is it? DreamWorks says Shrek franchise isn't dead, but I don't see where else you can go with it.
Yeah,
I mean,
unless they're kids, like it's not on about Shrek; it's about his kids. Then maybe I could see something.
maybe, but I say I know they're making another Puss in Boots movie,
That's probably where they need to go.
but I think
Do a spin-off
just
series.
stay with Puss in Boots for now.
They
But
can have
DreamWorks
Shrek
has
as
got
a
a.
cameo come in there and be like, hey, what's up?
I mean,
Hey.
I mean, DreamWorks has got enough successful animation movies going on right now that I don't think they need to pull out Shrek. I mean, Dragons 2 did extremely well for them,
Yeah.
and they've got 2 more movies lined up for that
Yeah.
already. So
Jeez,
I don't think they need to worry about
goodness gracious!
Shrek. So
Speaking of goodness gracious, yippee ki
Hey, mother.
Excuse me. I don't say those sort of words. Die Hard.
What word?
The first Die Hard is
Die Hard.
Oh.
Die Hard came in at number 15.
First Die Hard is like one of my favorite action movies.
Yeah,
like
that's-
ever.
That's a
It's
really
pretty
good movie.
badass.
Really good.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the second one?
Second one
With
was
the
all
brain?
right.
Second
What-
was fine. Second was fine.
Yeah,
I mean, and the
It's
third one's
kinda
okay as well.
Stupid.
Well, what I found was stupid was like, how can this guy be in
Put it-
situation again?
Yeah,
You
and
know?
it's always by accident.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, give me a. It would have been one thing if they were like, you're really good at this. You're gonna be part of our special.
Yeah,
made-up
yeah.
BS
Or like they made him
field.
do it, like
Yeah.
help Made
but
them
like
help.
instead, it's just like, oops, accidentally got into another terrorist plot. I like the second one, but it's pretty.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Third one was all right.
Which one? I can't
Third one
remember
made
the
more
third
sense
one.
than the second one.
Yeah.
Where bad guy from the first one, his brother comes to
That's right.
seem like get revenge, but it's
That's
also it's
and,
a
and,
robbery.
and you don't realize that's who it is until
Yeah,
you get
actually,
to
I'd say
about,
the third one is actually better than the second one.
yeah.
and of course there's been total of 5.
Yeah,
and the fourth
Those
one
don't count.
The fourth one, I would say, is of the fourth and fifth ones. The fourth one was definitely the better of the recent
The
two.
fifth
the
one.
fifth one
Ooh.
seemed nothing more than an
wow.
excuse just to blow things up.
Yeah.
Because
Well, here's the deal. Here's the story about Die Hard with a Vengeance, the fourth one, or no, that's Live Free and Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Die Hard with a Vengeance. I think
Is
it's the
it
fifth
third-
one.
fifth
Third
one?
one.
Die Hard
Third
with a
one?
Vengeance is the third one.
That's
Die,
right.
Live Free, Die Hard is the fourth one, and then Die Harder is the
Okay.
fifth
So
one.
even the title was stupid. Yeah.
Anyway,
But
the fourth one, the story behind that is it was actually a totally different movie in script. And then as it gets passed around by people, some coke-addled executive producer's like doing his line on the script and says, "Let's make this one Die Hard 4." And so you change the character. That's basically
this
what happened.
needs
It
is
wasn't
John
supposed
McClane.
to be a Die Hard movie originally.
and it's not an unwatchable movie.
And it's
No.
got that I'm a Mac dude.
Justin Long.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
You know what? I actually like him, but after those Mac commercials, I can't do it.
Yeah, the last one I think was just awful
man, that
because
was
you could tell
terrible.
Bruce Willis wasn't into it either. I think during the movie, I fell asleep during that movie and still don't know what happened.
I don't count the new ones as Die Hard movies, honestly.
I
Well,
I
if
don't
you
count.
don't, no one should.
I've seen the fifth one. As far as I'm concerned, the franchise really ends at 4.
Yeah,
Because the fourth one's
That's
oh,
generous.
and the
Yeah,
fourth
I
one's
would've
okay
given it
enough to
3.
be there, but
Yeah.
I think it's kind of where it belongs though, because
Just for the first one.
Yeah, the
that
first-
movie's so good.
Oh, yeah.
like, and the two sequels, like they're dumb, but they're still really fun.
How can you not
so-
watch Die Hard when it's on TV? Like if it's on, I'll sit and watch it.
come out to the coast, have a good time.
That's a good movie. I'm your white knight. How's that go? Speaking of coke-addled executive,
Well, at number 14 which is the last one I've posted on my website.
this one is
Godfather.
This one is shocking. Shocking.
that it's so low?
Well,
I was really
no.
thought that would be almost closer to the top 10
Me too. That's what
to a point.
Yeah.
the first and second one. Fine.
The first two are
Third
considered
one.
almost classics. The
Oh,
third
yeah.
one is
Yeah.
It gets more hate than it deserves.
Yeah.
But it's still not good.
If you have to compare it to the other two, it's just.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a lot of great one-liners in there. A lot of great actors.
Well, I guess I saw a thing where they're releasing the whole Godfather movies on Blu-ray together with a lot of the extended stuff. So
Wow.
you're going to get Godfather 1 and 2 are going to be like, if you watch
8
them,
hours long.
it's like 3 and 4 hours. I mean,
Oh,
over
gosh.
4 hours long, almost both of them. The first two, and it's
That's-
going to be like, oh my god,
That's too much.
It's like, how can you? How can you sit through? I mean, for Godfather movies, I mean, the original theatrical runs to me are almost pushing it as far as length.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, how can you sit through more? Why did you do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I know
I-
it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart.
James looks so enthusiastic right now.
He's remember Luca Brasi. Yeah, I think I have to see what's up next. I don't know what's up next. We're at 14.
It's hard for me to really consider that. I mean, I know there's a third one, but since no one likes it, it's hard to consider that
Yeah.
a real franchise.
Technically, it's a franchise, James.
I know, but it seems almost like a technicality. So, like, I could see it being around number 14.
And since we're discussing what we've done so
I
far,
mean, are we? It almost feels like we're reviewing. We're like, why is this rated here?
well, coming up at 13, which is going to get posted here pretty soon, and we'll go ahead and talk about it. So, because I won't post this till about the same time I post.
Hey, it's on your T-shirt.
Yes, it is.
And
it's a
that on
subliminal
purpose?
message.
Yes.
Reggie is wearing a Back to the
The Future T-shirt. Yes, 13. That's where it came in at. I like the Back to the Future movies.
I like
The,
them all.
the third one's okay.
I like them all.
I
there's-
just even the
I mean,
third one
Because
like,
look, we talk about X-Men,
Yeah.
The Matrix,
like even
even the Lethal Weapon movies. The third Back to the Future movie is still good.
yeah oh yeah
Compared
it's a
to
good
other,
movie.
they
It's
were able
just-
to hold it up.
It's
and-
one of those things where it's like it's not as near as good as the first one.
Oh
but
yeah, It didn't
It's
get
still
too
good.
crazy either.
I don't
It could have been a
know.
lot crazier.
Like they're riding a train.
But that also the
Like, it's a
second
little
and third
crazy.
movies
but I
also.
still really like
Yeah.
it.
I mean, the second and third movies also they didn't get the guy who played
George McFly.
George McFly. They couldn't get him to come back
Crispin Glover's a coke-addled
because he wanted so much money to return
yeah.
That guy's
that
an
they
idiot.
he wanted more than what Michael J. Fox was getting, and they weren't going to do that. And
Good.
so that's the reason why 2 and 3
Look where
is kind of
Crispin
written.
Glover is now.
So you wonder what 2 and 3 would have been like if he'd have returned.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the same with that's the same thing with Terrence Howard with Iron Man. He wanted to get paid just as much as Robert Downey Jr. It's like, no, we'll hire Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle's a much better actor, and we'll have to pay him less.
Well, I like Don Cheadle. In
Oh, yeah, I love-
I mean, I think he's done.
I think
a great job.
Actually,
they married up.
Especially on the third one.
Oh yeah.
I did like Terrence Howard on the first one though. but-
Now you're
We're talking about the wrong one. But yeah, back to
the future.
Back to the Future. I think that the first one, especially, is one of everyone, at least from our age, maybe older or younger, about the same age. So I think that's everyone's favorite movie.
Back to the Future is
Oh,
one of
yeah.
those movies. It doesn't matter if you're 15 or if you're 80.
Yeah.
If you can't
It's
find a way to like that movie,
Ghostbusters.
if you can't find a way to like that movie, there's just something wrong with you.
Yeah,
You're
I
messed
mean
in the
it's like
head.
Ghostbusters in that regard. Like
Yeah.
it's just one of those perfect comedy action sci-fi movies that just work so well for
Oh,
like
yeah.
all ages.
Great actors, Michael J. Fox and
You know,
Christopher
and
Lloyd.
there's so many different kind of scenes or lines that are just so easy to remember.
Yeah.
You know, with Michael J. Fox's character, you know, I am Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the very next scene, you see Crispin Glover's character running down. Darth Vader came down and said, "If I didn't ask Ryan out, he'd melt my brain." Let's keep this brain melting stuff to ourselves. I mean, just
Yeah. There's a lot of great movies.
yeah, just great little moments that if you're not paying attention, you can miss them. And
And I like the theme song that
The power of love. Huey Lewis and the News.
who gets to make a cameo in that movie? Too?
Yeah. I think it's also, if anyone's gone on YouTube and looked at Eric Stoltz as Marty McFly.
And they basically had almost
They-
half that movie
Yeah.
filmed, and then they
It's
decided, okay, we're starting
This
over.
ginger is bringing us down.
They just
like no emotion.
They weren't getting the same type of what they were hoping for when they
Yeah.
were watching the dailies back, and they didn't want Michael. Some people wanted Michael J. Fox, but then they also didn't want him because the people when he was still doing Family Ties didn't really want to let him do it.
TV person.
And then when they decided they really wanted Michael J. Fox and they got rid of Eric Stoltz, they finally came to an agreement with. But I hate to be Michael J. Fox because he said what he was doing. He was shooting at night when he wasn't working during the day at Family Ties and then on weekends. And it's like, so for 3 or 4 months, he had to have a brutal
But you
sleeping
think,
schedule.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But you
we've all
think
worked
after,
2 jobs.
yeah. But you think after that movie, he had it made.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they was set for
But
life after that movie.
but
Like really?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
the movie
yeah.
made
But at least with Michael J.
millions.
Fox,
Yeah.
even after the success of Back to the Future, he still finished out Family Ties for another 3 or 4 seasons.
Wow.
So
I
he
didn't know
didn't.
that.
He didn't just say,
That's
"I'm
heavy.
done. I'm off the show." You know, I'm trying to go do movies. He actually finished out his TV show.
That's heavy.
And then he did Spin City in the 90s, which was that a good show? I don't remember.
It was okay.
Spin City was okay up until
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox left.
Yeah,
and
and
then when they
Charlie
brought in
Sheen,
Charlie Sheen and what's her face, it lost.
It was like
something.
having
clear.
Eric Stoltz in Back to the. If you've never watched that, watch 5 minutes and you'll realize
Really?
we need to get Michael J. Fox.
I think
in
I
here,
might
'cause
do
it
that
was-
as soon as I get home.
Yeah,
because
it was like, oh dear,
It's that bad.
it's that bland.
Holy cow!
It's like there's no emotion there. He's like watching a mannequin act. It
Really?
was weird. It's weird.
Spin City lost something when Michael J. Fox left
Oh
that
yeah,
show.
they should have.
Well, and also, I'm going to be honest with you. Charlie Sheen, like, do people like him?
I think it depends on what he's
I
doing.
think the people like him for the wrong reason.
Yeah,
That's
because
my-
I mean, 2.5 Men is one of the worst shows ever made.
I don't watch it, so
It's
I couldn't
It's
tell
a
you.
terrible show. Terrible.
He's not even on it anymore.
I
and
don't
it's in
think
its
even
12th
on.
season. But this is
I
also
think
its
it's
final
over.
season.
Shows what you know, James.
Yeah.
This is also its final season too. I think it's like its 12th season.
Like he's got his own network show now, like to compete with it, but it looks cheap, super cheap, called like Anger Management. It's
Yeah.
like,
On FX.
man, why do people
Sponsor
like
placement.
Charlie Sheen so much?
Well, Reggie, give us a tease of what else is in the list.
Well,
you don't have to, in
I
no
think Back to the
particular
Future
order.
was the tease and recap.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Well,
know.
there's-
I remember
there's-
seeing a lot of other movies.
There's at least one more one more superhero franchise coming down the line.
All right.
There's at least another.
Spider-Man.
There's 2 more
Could
sci-fi
be Batman or
franchises.
Iron Man.
All right.
There's 2 more sci-fi French movies that are coming. Sci-fi franchises. It may sound
Star
French.
Wars. And
There's some there's other action. There's a wide range.
Any surprises? You don't have to tell us what it is, but is there anything that surprised you?
If there's any surprise in the top 10, no, there's really wasn't a surprise as far as what movies finished in the top 10. I mean,
the surprise is what movies didn't make it.
So you're telling us Twilight didn't make top 10?
that I will not say.
Wow.
When I say I won't say if it did or did not make it. Either way.
I'm going
But
to guess based on your average target audience, it probably didn't. I could be wrong, but
I thought you said tarted. What did you say?
target audience. What the hell do you think I said?
I really don't think when I finally get down to it, when everyone sees the top 5, I don't think anyone could argue as far as the top 5.
Did Frankenstein make it?
No.
Frankenstein.
Did you include Frankenstein?
Frankenstein's not a
Universal.
franchise.
The old Universal?
Oh,
movies?
gee.
See, I didn't go that far back.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to keep it.
Dude, the sequel's better than the first.
Well,
one.
as it
Bride
was,
of
I think-
Frankenstein is really good.
You took my survey, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it was like what, 4 pages long of movies?
Oh yeah, there's
That's
a lot of movies. On there. Yeah.
So
I thought you took it.
No,
No.
I
I
never
gave you
saw
one.
it on the. You gave me one.
I gave you one.
Oh, I don't remember. No, I remember
Speaking
being
of tarted
surprised because I never
audiences.
saw it on the
Do you even follow Reggie's thing?
on Facebook, not on Twitter. Sorry, I don't tweet.
Not a Twitter.
Not a
Tweeter.
Not a twit.
Not a tweeter. Have a
well,
twit.
Twit's a whole different subject, but
I'm sorry, Reggie.
we'll have to come back and do this when we get into the top 10 and top 5.
For sure.
And then kind of review more of the whole list again and the top 10. But I don't think the top 5 will surprise anybody.
Nah.
And I don't really think the top movie is going to surprise anybody either.
Did
Revenge of the Nerds.
You ruined it for everybody.
I knew it. Sorry.
Did
Can we just edit it out?
did Le Cuisson Dangereux make it?
Oh,
Le
great.
Cuisson
Anyway,
Dangereux.
James gone French on us again.
You guys got any final thoughts on the summer movie season before we go?
I think overall it was pretty good.
Actually,
I think
this was a good summer. Yeah.
I think next summer that's just going to be
Well, next summer and next winter is going to be really interesting.
overwhelming.
Yes.
I'm going to describe it as that.
And
Overwhelming.
I look to see how interesting December will be of next year, 2015.
Yeah.
Because you've got 3 movies that you would normally consider summer movies that are coming out in December. So it'll be
I think
interesting.
I think a lot of people, and we've even talked about this, the oversaturation of comic book movies and stuff, but it's getting people back to the theaters.
Mhm.
Comic book movies and
Well,
sci-fi.
It's giving people work.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
and right now, the comic book movies really the only thing that isn't a rehash from something from the 80s that's
Right.
being put out right now. So I think that's why they're getting so
It's
much.
a rehash from the 60s.
My
No,
my theory
comic
on
books.
that. Right now, they're on top, but I think the one that might send it to oversaturation land is the Justice movie.
I don't know. I think that
It's
depends
not
on
a-
how Batman versus Superman really does.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean,
that's what
but-
I'm talking about is Batman versus
I
Superman.
mean,
say that.
But I
Well,
think
isn't that what it's called? Is Justice?
No.
Batman versus
They're making it
Superman:
Justice.
Dawn of Justice.
Yeah.
No.
I guess technically you're right. The
Whatever.
Justice
It's more or less a prequel to the Justice
I
League movie.
think, but isn't Wonder Woman and all of them going to appear in it?
Wonder Woman,
But we don't know
Aquaman,
what capacity.
Batman, Superman, obviously.
I think Cyborg, Martian Manhunter.
There's several rumors, and they've also hired a lot of characters that you may see that they may not actually say, but they're setting themselves up for obviously the Justice League movie, which they're supposedly just supposed to start filming as soon as they're done with the current one they're filming. Batman versus Superman is going to make money no matter what
yeah.
because people
Oh,
are going to
yeah.
be so interested in seeing it and what's going on with it
But-
and Ben Affleck. So they're going to want to see that aspect. You're probably right. The actual Justice League movie itself will probably determine whether or not DC's style of how going about it, trying to answer Marvel, is whether or not they're
They
successful.
just need to try something else besides Zack Snyder.
I think also they're just messing with us because if you go on the internet, I think they're just saying all that to get us overexcited.
and I think some of those people are actually being hired for purposes in the movie, but whether or not they're actually showing up in the Batman versus Superman movie is another story.
Yeah.
I think the only ones you're going to see for sure, besides Batman and Superman in this next movie, other than possibly a little bit bigger role for Wonder Woman and maybe a little bit of Aquaman, and I think that's all you're really going to see as far as as any of the other superheroes. I mean, I think anybody else is just going to be pulled in come Justice League
Yeah.
time. Because I think if you're going to consider this a Justice League movie, you've got to at least have your at least 4 establishing of why. Because from what I've read, they're all basically pissed off with Superman.
Superman,
I mean, so
which I think is the right direction to go.
yeah, because he's considered an alien in a certain.
Yeah.
They're looking at him as an alien more or
But-
less than a.
I mean, Wonder Woman isn't exactly.
Well,
yeah, but she's not from off planet though.
yeah,
Right.
Well, like that's all. And I saw this about Aquaman. Sorry if I'm taking up a lot of time. He's upset because Superman came to the Earth and Zod, with his machine, screwed up the ocean.
Yeah, that's
with
what
that.
Aquaman's.
Yeah, that's what Aquaman's upset
Over. And that's what draws him in. And I can't remember the reason why Wonder Woman would be pissed off with him.
She's a woman.
Well, in that case, we all got troubles. Anyway, thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure as always.
Absolutely.
Enlightening, insightful. Maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, it's something.
But we'll have to do this again sometime, guys.
Sure.
Thank you all for listening. Hope you all come back, please, and talk at you later.